what's going on YouTube? It's Nikki the Bombshell Biker, and thanks for coming for a ride today. So I have wanted to talk about our proposal for a while. I just haven't had a chance to come out and make the video. So today, that is what I'm doing. And I'm very excited to share this with everyone. So the Beard and I have been together for 2 years. I am very, very lucky. A lot of people already thought we were married, so I'm pretty sure everybody was pretty surprised when I was like, look who proposed. They were like, what? Aren't you already married? Why is he proposing now? One of the guys I work with was like, well, that's a little weird. You guys are already married. Why did he have to propose? And I was like, we're not married. He's my boyfriend. Now he's my fiance. Which I keep forgetting to say. When I like talk about him, I'm like, oh, my boyfriend. And one of the doctors I work with was like, oh, your fiance? And I was like, crap. Yeah, that guy. He was like, he just gave you a big ring and all that. And I was like, well, But anyways. So, like I was saying, the Beard and I have been together for about 2 years, or a little over 2 years actually, and we have been very, very fortunate to have found each other. I had been married before, he had been married before, we have both been divorced. I was married to my very best friend, but we never should have gotten married. We loved each other a whole lot, but that wasn't enough, which is unfortunate because he was my very best friend up until he passed. And with the Beard, it was never forced. Everything always feels right. It always just happens. And I've never felt so loved in my life. I don't think I've ever truly felt this way with anyone I've ever been with. And like, I'm 28, and like a divorce under your belt at 28 like doesn't feel great, especially when your parents were married just shy of 30 years. And like, my dad was my mom's first high school boyfriend, and like, they had been through stuff, but they loved each other, like, up until the day my mom died. And even now, like, I know my dad still loves my mom. Just, she's gone, and unfortunately she's not coming back, but I was really fortunate to have found the Beard. And so we're pulling up right now to this bridge, which I hope you can see right in front of us. And this is where the Beard proposed. And some of you may recognize it from one of his videos. And he's taken a lot of pictures here as well because he just liked the way it looked. And so I'm going to turn around here, especially because that road is closed. So he, on the premise of the kids really wanted to see where this bridge was like, hey, let's go because the kids want to see it. And our oldest is quite the little photographer. She does really beautiful pictures. And I had told her earlier in the week, or the weekend, where it's really at is if you can take pictures of people. To which she was like, oh yeah. So he was like, well, the kids want to go see it and I'd like to take them. You want to go? Yeah, of course. Like, we had to take my brother to work, so a family outing. So we go, all pile in the truck, take my brother to work, and start heading towards the bridge. So then we get out and we're like walking around, we like hike up the way. And it's like, we're just kind of going. So then we go. I'm going to turn off this camera here because I'm going to get off my bike. And we're going to go walk around. And hopefully not get stung by a bee. Let me lock my handlebars. So we brought the kids out. We're walking around. And they're kind of just wandering around. I'm wandering around aimlessly, as I am known to do. Sorry if it's shaky. I'm walking. As you can see in my shadow. I look like such a badass right now. And even though I have my helmet on, so it's probably a little less bad. It's like all blocked off right here. Probably so people don't drive up here. Because this actually was a functioning bridge, but it is no longer because it's so narrow, and that's why we have this bridge. So, anyways, so we're wandering around, and our oldest isn't really taking pictures, and I was like, dude, take pictures, photographer, let's go. So, I'm looking off the end of that bridge, about where that family's at, and I'm like kind of just wandering aimlessly. And the beard is like, why do you keep walking away from me? And I was like, what do you mean I'm walking away from you? He's like, every time I try and get close to you, you walk away. And I was like, I'm sorry. So he pulls me in for a hug. And I'm one of those people, if you hug me, I will let you hug me for days. I love it. I want to be held all the time. I'm like a small child. So I'm standing there. The water was running really nicely. It was like an overcast day. Today is a beautiful day, though. Can we take a minute to appreciate that? Anyways, so beautiful overcast day. This family's coming, so I don't want to look super weird. I'll walk around the bridge. Because it's all fun and games when you're in your own helmet. Until somebody walks up and hears you talking to yourself. Anyways, so let's... Beautiful bridge here. But anyway, so the water was running. It was such a pretty overcast day. I love rainy days, except for when I can't ride my bike. But I will pick rain over sunshine any day. Like, unless I'm scheduled to ride my bike that day, I want it to be pouring rain all the time. And so, anyways, he's holding me. And we're just kind of like sitting there, and we're those people that we will sit there and dance in the kitchen to no music. Most of the time I have music going, but we will sit there and just kind of sway back and forth. And just, love you too, blah, blah, blah. So then our oldest goes, hey, Nikki. I turn around because someone's talking to me, so I like to face them. And I go, what's up, baby? And our 3 kids are holding signs. Will you marry our dad? I instantly start bawling hysterically because that's who I am as a person. And look at him. And I apparently screwed up his proposal a bit because I'm ugly crying. And he's trying to get down on one knee because he had bought like a temporary ring. So he was trying to pull that out of his pocket. He couldn't get it out of his pocket. I like instantly tackled him in a hug. And I say, will you still love me or do you still want me forever? Or will you spend forever with me? God, I can't even remember what I say when I'm trying to think of it. So I ask him all the time, will you spend forever with me? And he always answers, forever and always. So he's laughing and like nervously is like, will you spend forever with me? And I'm crying. And so I hug him and I'm still crying. The kids come up and they're hugging us. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Because I forgot to answer like a dipshit. Because wouldn't be me if I got it all right. And so he then was able to get the ring out of his pocket and give me the temporary ring. And he told me I could pick my own ring. So for my own ring, let me get my key back in here. I picked, oops, it's all crock-eyed. This beautiful ring. I love pear-shaped diamonds. That's what that's called, in case anyone's curious. And if I pull it up a bit, I got that tattoo years ago because I wanted a pear shape, and I just love the way it looks there. My hands are so dry. And I just think it looks super friggin' cool with my ring. I just love it. But, yeah, so then I continue to ugly cry, and the kid, our oldest is crying because she's like me. She gets emotional. Not my actual child, but, we share that trait. And so we are there, and, like, he tells me that he called my dad, 3 weeks ago and got my dad's permission. And what was really awesome was before my mom had passed, I had asked for her blessing because I knew I was going to spend forever with him. And she's been gone for a little over a year now. She passed away February 3rd, 9:15 in the morning. And so it's been over a year. And I remember asking her in the hospital, is it okay if I spend forever with the beard? Sorry, we can edit that out. And she said, of course, he's a great man. You know, I love him very much, and I know he'll be very good to you, and I know he's good for you, and you're good for him. So, I guess my mom and dad had a deeper conversation about it while she was home on hospice. And basically my dad told the beard that, you know, my mom had really wanted us to get married, and she was so proud. And another thing about my mom passing and me asking for her permission and stuff and just her blessing was I couldn't marry him without knowing that my mom was okay with it, because my mom was my very best friend, and having that blessing meant a lot to me, because, you know, she was going to miss the biggest day of my life. And so I, of course, tearfully asked her, you know, will you come to my wedding, and will you find a way? I can't cry on my motorcycle right now. Oh my God. And this guy down. And she said, of course, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And knowing that my dad also made sure to tell the beard that, like, tell him how much my mom approved, and the fact that he asked my dad was big for not only me but my dad, you know. And so it could not have been more perfect. Having the kids be a part of it was, I wanted for him, if he was going to ask, I wanted to know they were going to be a part of it, because they are so much a part of our lives. I still remember the very first time I met them and how so awkward I was, but I bribed them. I worked for a very famous coffee company. They wear green aprons. Their drinks are in Italian. I don't want to get sued, but I worked for that coffee company, and I bribed them with drinks, blended iced beverages. And then the next day I came down and we went to the park, and it was pretty much solidified from there. I think I French braided our oldest daughter's hair like the second day I met her, and we were good. But knowing that they were a part of it and they also gave their blessing was indescribable. Like, there's no words I can put into play how lucky I am. I have heard so many horror stories of stepkids and stepmoms, and I never had that. My parents were married for 30 years. I'm 28 years old. Like, they had 2 years down before I came around. Well, technically 1 year, because, anyways, math. And so I am so lucky. I know that I could not stop crying. I just, oh man, I can't wait to marry him. I cannot wait to be his wife. Like, we live together, and, you know, we do a lot together. I try to help out at the shop. He helps me out so much in my life. He's really helped me get my life back together over these last couple of years with my mom, and just where I was in life when we first started dating. Like, it has not been an easy road for him and I with all that I've had going on. And he does it so gracefully and so well that I don't think I'll ever be able to repay him, but I will spend the rest of my life showing him how much I love him. And I'm just so lucky. And, you know, all of this, the camera in front of me, on my helmet, all of this is because of him. You know, the bike I'm sitting on I would never have gotten a bike before, because I had always wanted to get another one and ride, but it just wasn't a reality the way my life was going. And for him to give me back that part of my life and to encourage me in everything I do, to change careers, to do all the things we do, I can't describe how happy and lucky and blessed and I am for all of the amazing things in my life. And I owe it all to the beard. And he's very humble, and he was like, you help me, and like, blah, 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 we're a team. And we are. And I believe that wholeheartedly, but I do feel like sometimes he gets the raw end of the deal here, because I'm a hot mess, y'all. Hot mess. But I'd like to think I make up for it in other ways. I'm funny. I'll keep him laughing for the rest of our life. Which, you know, I hope too. And I just hope that in 30 years, he still loves me as much as my mom still loved my dad. And I hope we always dance in the kitchen, and we always find reasons to say I love you, and always find reasons to show we care. And so that, I think, is a really good spot to leave it off at. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to meander on my way home. Kind of had to go out of my way for this, but 100% worth it, I think. Hope you guys think so too. So on that note, stay safe, stay sassy, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.